I accept. Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to the good senator for the kind words. But this was good old-fashioned teamwork from the chairs to the rankings. This has been a conversation for years, going back to Governor Rell, and in that time, there was something developed called a ratio relief process that would allow the trades to be able to hire additional apprentices. Right now, it's 1-to-1 for the first 3, and then after that, it is 3-to-1. And it's been a bit of a hot topic between non-union and union shops, and they both had very legitimate concerns. The unions wanted to make sure that the apprentices were being protected and used correctly, and you know, we see so many kids, students going into the trades. There was the stigma of always having to go to college, and I think we broke that because we understand that, you know, these trades, both union and non-union, are great careers. They're great companies, and they provide a pathway to retirement and health benefits, and we see that there are some challenges when the apprentice comes out of a technical school and finding a place to fulfill their apprenticeship obligation prior to becoming licensed. And we worked very well with not only our General Law Committee, but numerous representatives and senators on both sides of the aisle, as well as multiple trades, again, both non-union and union. We had conversations, we all got around the table, and we came up with a middle ground, and that's what this piece of legislation is before us. It is going to allow companies to bring on up to 8 apprentices in a streamlined fashion, utilizing the ratio relief, as long as there is no wage violations, or if they are not a good steward of the profession, or really doing what's best for the employees, especially the apprentices, then they won't be able to have that luxury of having the 1-to-1 for the first 8. But if they're doing the right thing, this is a pathway that will allow that to happen, and happen fast. And for the larger companies that may want to hire more than 1-to-1 for the first 8, there is still that ratio relief application. It's a little bit more involved. There'll be some questions to answer and information to provide, but there'll be a clear understanding through the Department of Consumer Protection whether or not they could do that. Again, as long as they are good stewards of the profession, making sure they have the best interest of the apprentice in mind, we'll be able to provide that workforce that is needed. We see a large amount of our skilled trade professionals getting ready to retire, and it is a concern as they retire and that institutional knowledge goes with them. We need the next generation to come in and help out, and that's what this piece of legislation before us as amended will do. And again, I want to thank our chairs, our ranking members, the General Law Committee, all of the trades advocates that have participated in the negotiation, and I urge support and passage of the legislation before us. Thank you.